What is going on, guys? Welcome to another video here on my channel. So for those of you that know me or follow me on Instagram, you would have seen I injured my knee. Okay, I was playing football and I was running with the ball, went to do a step over and my knee got buckled. Well, my foot was stuck in the floor, my knee buckled and it was horrendous. Since then, we didn't think it was anything serious. I'd seen various people, got various opinions without actually getting an MRI scan. Everyone seemed to think it was a slight meniscus tear that it would heal with time. Turns out, once getting an MRI scan after 5 weeks of it not getting better, that I have ruptured my ACL, torn my meniscus, and damaged my cartilage. So, today is my operation. See you there.
This is probably too early, but I'm up from anaesthetic. Before I let everyone know I'm cool. That's it, that's that. Just wanted to let everyone know I'm good. So thank you for all the messages.
And we're on the other side, guys. Operation is complete. It is now, checking my watch like I've got a watch, I don't have it on. It's now 8 PM in the evening. It's been a tough day. In terms of the anaesthetic has been the problem. The actual knee, I mean, it's painful, don't get me wrong, but I've learned everything, how I need to be walking, etc. But it's just been the anaesthetic has really written me off. So I'm about to go home, and yeah, I'm gonna chill out. What is going on, guys? 3 days post-op. I am currently recovering in the living room. The recovery process has been slow so far. My leg is still in a lot of pain, still swollen. I can't walk without crutches. I can't walk with crutches really. I can only put very little pressure on it to sort of guide my foot to go in the direction I want to. I can't move easily. So it's slow at the moment, but things are getting slightly better day by day. I'm able to do little bits here and there a bit more. I'm able to get myself up a lot easier. So I feel like things are on the right path. Obviously it was a big surgery. There was 3 things there to deal with. They had to do with the ACL, the meniscus and the cartilage damage. So, you know, obviously it's not going to be something where it will be just easy for me to recover straight away. Moving forward, just gonna keep doing all the right things, keep icing. They've given me a little machine to ice with, which is quite cool. It sort of compresses and puts ice on at the same time, so that's good. Keep the brace on for another 2 weeks, and then guys, I'll be catching up with you in another 2 weeks when I get to take the brace off. So for now, this is the last you're gonna see of me in a cripple condition, but then the next you'll see, the brace will be off and hopefully I'll be walking. See you then. So today is the first proper physio session I've got with a physio I've been seeing for years. His name's Steve Varney. He's one of the best in the game. I've been guiding him for ages, so he is going to be guiding me on my path back to the best version of myself, whatever that may be. So getting a knee as strong as it can possibly be. As without further ado, I'll see you at the physio. Let's go.
Your priority at the moment is to get these firing, okay? And at the moment, the biggest problem to getting those firing is that unless you get your legs straight, you can't do a good static contraction. And static contraction should be an exercise day 1, okay? And at the moment, this is. I would have expected this knee to be fully straight. I would expect you to be able to just tighten those muscles up for me. You should be able to do that by now. Really? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so I don't know why you can't do that at the moment, so we'll have a little look at that, okay? One of the things I think is the best way to get it is rolled up towel underneath your heel, and just hours a day of letting it sit down and letting it go down, okay? You can gently lean on it, you know, you can just lean on it, but there's no point in leaning on it and fighting, so let go. I think you're a little bit nervous for this. Yeah. Your knee is going to hurt for some time.
Right, so the physio was a success. It seemed to be that the call of action is to get my knee as straight as possible. He reckons I'm, as you'll hear from the video, that I'm about 3 or 4 weeks behind where I should be, and that can be probably down to maybe some bad advice from the previous physio. So like I said, I've been looking forward to seeing this physio because I know he knows what he's talking about. So we're getting on the right path now. I've been given a completely new program to do. See you on Monday for the next session with him. Let's go. Right guys, so I arrived a little bit late, so I couldn't get too much of an intro coming into the physio, but we've got this on the knee at the moment, so it's just, I don't know, like breaking down some of the tissue or whatever, helping to mobilize my knee in a sense to help it get a lot straighter. Just this little machine, devil machine, feels really weird. Just got to keep doing little movements on it, but yeah, good so far. Let's see where the next stage goes to.
Any pain?
Not really, no.
Move it around till I just hit it a couple of times, then we'll just gently turn it up.
Right, so we were wrapped up. Looks like we're within session 2. I have completed full extension, pretty much, which is really, really good. Look at the marks that thing left on me. Oh my god. So yeah, we've achieved what we needed to, pretty much in 2 sessions. There's a little bit, obviously, my body's naturally sort of protecting that area because it's sensitive still, so it's still fighting it a little bit, but we're making massive improvements, so this is really good. You know, I've had to push quite hard over the last few days, and I'm going to keep pushing. We've got 1 more session really to getting the leg straight, and then it's more about, you know, strengthening and stuff. At the moment, I'm at probably the best point I've been. I've literally just started running. I've obviously started squatting quite recently as well, if you would have seen on my Instagram, so that's a big plus for me. So that's a major step in my comeback and to being able to do everything properly, because obviously from my fitness channel you would have seen a lot of gym training, but prior to this, obviously I played a lot of football and just generally I'm into my fitness, so when I can do running and football and stuff, it's definitely something I'm going to be doing. To what level, I'm not sure yet, and obviously while I'm bodybuilding as well, I need my leg to be able to squat heavier, do leg press, leg extension, so it's important that I get it fixed, but we're on the right recovery path. Now I kind of wanted to make this video for anyone who's out there who may not be a competitive athlete or into their fitness that much, or whether you are into your fitness that much or you are a competitive athlete. Some people may be wondering, do they actually need the surgery if they've tore their ACL? Because what you'll notice is, and this is what I noticed, is that after a few weeks you actually end up feeling like your knee's back to normal, that there's just a little niggle. So I'm sure that if after a while you left it, it would feel even better than I did, but obviously I'd got a scan and had it repaired to the full extent. I didn't just leave it, so I don't know how it would have felt if I just left it, but having spoke to a few people who've been through this scenario that have just left it, the pain does subside, but then when they go to physical activity again, they end up re-damaging that particular region. So if I was to say to you, should you get the surgery or not? If you are involved in competitive sports, or if not, even if one day you want to be involved, I think the surgery is a no-brainer because you're gonna need it eventually. You know, although you may think at this stage of your life you're not into fitness, if there comes a time where you do want to start getting into it and then you start having problems with your knees, it's just gonna hold you back even more. So as soon as you know there's something wrong, I would obviously recommend getting the surgery. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physician, I'm not a physiotherapist, I'm not an osteopath, I'm none of that. So don't take my advice, clinical advice, but I'm just doing it based on my own experience. I've obviously come out of it and I'm moving along a lot better than if I did not have the surgery, and obviously I'm able to now do a lot more and eventually will be able to do more having the surgery and go back to normal as opposed to not. When it comes to the surgery, I'm not going to lie to you, I was completely overwhelmed by the post-operation trauma in terms of I was in a lot of pain, I could not move, I felt just incapable of doing anything. It was kind of made out to me like I would be back to normal like the day after, that I wasn't really expecting to be in a lot of pain. So I will warn you that if you do get the operation, expect to be in a lot of pain, expect to be out of action for a little while, because it does hurt a lot, and even after a few weeks, a month, 2 months, you're still going to be incapable to do a lot of things. The progress will be quite major. You'll be walking and stuff, but you won't be able to do things as you was doing normally. If you go to the gym, if you're into fitness, you won't be able to do any of that for a long time. In terms of on your lower body, obviously you can do upper body training as long as you're safe and not putting too much pressure on your legs, you know, doing everything seated, that's all fine. But like I say, I will warn you, you will be in a lot of pain, so do not expect to come out of this operation and be walking the next day and be absolutely fine, because it is very, very painful. So when it comes to the rehab process, you're given exercises to do post-op quite quickly, so you need to make sure you're doing those in order to achieve full extension on your knee and obviously a full bend. With me, I was a little bit in the dark with all the stuff. Obviously I was told what I needed to be doing, but because of all the whole situation with COVID, it was hard to get access to a physio at the time and know exactly what I needed to be doing. So although the physio there did try and give me some guidance, after the operation I was in so much pain, I felt like what she was telling me to do wasn't going to be possible. I felt like if I actually had my physio like I do now, guiding me, telling me what to do, it would have been a lot better post-op. So I would say, if you are going to have the operation, make sure you have a physio ready straight away so that they can guide you through the rehab process, because I would have saved a lot of time. With me, I just left it a bit and I ended up leaving my knee like, can't really show you, but I ended up leaving it like bent for ages because I couldn't just straighten it out. So that brought me back a long way, because when the brace came off, my knee was stuck, like my knee was basically stuck. Imagine that's my leg. My knee was basically stuck like that. So it's been a whole process of like pushing my knee and manipulating it back to where it should be. And the bend now as well, I'm still not 100% on my bend, even like 5 months nearly post-op. And I think that was because I had such a big procedure. I mean, I'm very, very close, but yeah, I'm still not at a full bend. So in terms of rehab, that's the first stage. Obviously icing in the initial stage is important, elevation, etc. And then as you move along, you go into like the strength exercises, you know, eventually moving on to leg press, things to get your neuromuscular things going, like your brain working with your leg and stuff like that. So balance, stability, all that stuff, kind of get that mind to muscle connection going, and obviously teach that knee to now do the things it's used to doing. If you don't get used to all these like stabilizing exercises, balancing exercises, etc., you probably will end up re-injuring yourself. So it's important that in the early stages you get used to that, so your knee has full stability, so it's protected basically in the future. Now I'm at a stage, like I say, where I'm into the running and stuff. The gentle plyometrics were built in not too long ago as well, like little pogo jumps, and obviously just the general exercises, quarter lunges, you know, sinking into a squat, things like that. That was all part of the rehab process. But yeah, fairly steady and long process. It doesn't happen quickly, obviously. That is the injury. You are going to be out for a year. You know, if you want to compete in physical activity, it's going to take a long time to get better. But I would say 5 months on, I mean, I felt like I had the operation last week. It has flown by, so it seems long, but when you're doing, just living your life, you know, it does go by eventually. So for me, my plans moving forward, obviously, like I said, I'm 5 months into the rehab process. I'm going to continue doing everything I'm doing. I'm back to running now. The next step is obviously to keep building that up, make sure that I'm moving smoothly with that. Around 6-7 months, you actually start getting back to normal in terms of everything you're able to do. I should be able to run a lot faster. I should be able to squat 100%. I should be able to even start kicking the ball at around 7 months. So things like that will all be back to normal. The only reason you can't go back for a year is because obviously your knee is not used to doing anything for 7 months. So you still need another few months of getting it back used to doing all them things, you know, the change of direction, etc., etc., before you work in a competitive environment. Plus, obviously, things like contact aren't included when you're doing your rehab, and obviously you're running on a field or on a treadmill, and that is all something that's part of being in a football game or something like that. So when it comes to that, you need to give it as long as possible to make sure you protect that knee. To wrap up this video, would I recommend the surgery? I mean, I basically said it before. Obviously, I would recommend the surgery. If you have torn your ACL, you need to make sure you get it done. Regardless of whether you're into your fitness or not, it's going to cause you more problems later on down the line if you don't get it done. When you get older, you're going to start having a lot more pain in your knee if you don't get the surgery done, because obviously you'll be lacking a ligament. anything general, like even if you're not performing physical activity, you may have a problem. Like if you go to pick something heavier and you need to bend down to get it, your knee might give way. I mean, I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying that will happen. It could happen. So why take the risk? Get the surgery. I know it's a long process, but you'll be back to doing pretty much everything quite quickly. Obviously, if you're a competitive athlete, that's when it gets a little bit more serious in terms of the rehab to do the things you were doing before is a lot longer. But if you're just like a normal everyday person, then get the surgery done. You'll be walking, you'll be doing everything within a few months. So I would recommend that. So guys, thank you for watching today's video. Like I said, I wanted to make this video to show you guys, if you are considering getting the surgery, if you have recently had the injury and you don't know what to do and you're panicking, I hope this video is giving you some guidance on what you should do and, you know, ease your mind so you understand what the process is like. Make sure you all subscribe to my channel, leave a like for this video, comment down below what videos you want to see on my channel, and I will see you all in the next video.